Good morning. Today is April 20th, and this is your reading lesson of today. So make sure you react to my post. Then you're going to watch the learning video, open your assignment, complete the interactive pages, make sure to click turn in, and then you'll click on your IXL activity link and get started with that to wrap up your lesson. Okay, so in detail, your directions are put a smiley face and react to the daily post. Watch my instructional video for the daily lesson details. Open assignment called Reading 420 and complete that interactive slide. Make sure to follow the turn-in directions and then complete IXL activity. Your IXL activity is here, but it's also within the PowerPoint. All right, so reading April 20th, me and Uncle Romy. So today we're going to review what point of view is. Okay, so we'll complete our point of view worksheet and then you will work on your point of view skills on IXL. So I can identify the point of view from which stories are narrated, including first and third person. So what does that mean, point of view? That means when you read something, you're deciding who's telling the story, how the story is being told. Okay, and there's some keywords that help you when you are reading to help you identify what the point of view is. All right, so here is just a fun way to remember. It says point of view tune. Now, I can't sing, so I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to read it with you, okay? So it says, everybody wants to know my point of view. Everybody wants to know my point of view. First person is me. Second person is you. First person is me. Second person is you. Third person is he. Third person is she. Third person is he. Third person is she. Everybody wants to know my point of view. Everybody wants to know my point of view. And then you have your mic drop. So, just a fun way to make sure that you remember. Okay, so you can recite that to yourself a lot of times just to make sure that you can remember the rules. Okay, so first person is me. Me, I'm telling the story. Second person is you. And third person is he or she. All right, so here we go. Point of view. Who's telling the story? Who's narrating? First person is me. So that means the narrator is a character in the story. They are part of the actions. The narrators use words like I, me, my, us, ours, and we. Second person is the narrator directly addresses the reader, okay? So the narrator is saying you, your, and yours. Okay, and then the third person is the narrator is not even in the story. Okay, they are an outsider looking in, and they use words like he, she, they, them, him, her, and their. All right, so point of view is the view from which the story is told. Sometimes the author is the narrator, the person who tells the story. Sometimes one of the characters is the narrator. Sometimes the narrator knows about everyone and everything in the story. Sometimes the narrator is limited in her or his knowledge and outlook. All right, so we're going to look at the different types of point of view. So first person is someone in the story that's telling the story. So it says they use I, we, me, us, my, mine, our, and ours. It shows a person from the story is experiencing the action. It means that they're going through it. They're the person in the story that it's happening to. So in Me and Uncle Romy, James says, oh, my birthday is ruined. So you know that when he's talking, it's him that's the narrator. It's happening to him, so it's told in first person. All right. So it makes it possible for you guys to connect to what's happening in the story the way that the narrator is reading it. All right. So first person point of view, here's an example. It says, I jumped for joy when I got a new bike for my birthday. So I'm the narrator. This is happening to me because I see the words I, and that means it's first person. Third person limited. And then there's third person omniscient. Omniscient. That's a hard word to say, guys. Sorry. Omniscient. So first person limited, it means that the narrator talks about the thoughts and feelings of only one person. Third person omniscient means that they're talking about all the characters' feelings, okay? So sometimes it's talking about a thing instead of a person. So it says Jamal sang the most beautiful song at the talent show and he won first place. So this would be first person limited because we're just talking about one person's feelings and thoughts, okay, rather than a bunch of people's feelings and thoughts. So we have Billy and Jenny were in shock as they approached the ramshackle cabin. They couldn't believe this was the vacation property portrayed on the internet. They had already paid for their week's stay, so they decided to make the most of it. So, what point of view are this little story in? Well, let's think about it. Let's go back and look for that. So, we're talking about Billy and Jenny, and they use words like they, and there's more than one person. So, I'm going to venture to say that this means that answer would be, you guessed it, third person, omniscient. And here we go. We have highlighted Billy and Jenny, and you see all those words, they, their, and they. I want to go to Italy for a little getaway. It would be challenging to raise the funds, but I made up my mind to start saving immediately. The first thing I thought was to get a second job. What point of view is this story in? First, second, or third? Objective. Let's think about that. What are those key words? I'm going to go with the words I. So you see I, and I in red, which means that it's first person. Henry couldn't believe his eyes. There in front of him was the motorized bicycle he had dreamed about for years. His family purchased it for him for his birthday, and he was beside himself with excitement. So, which one is this? Let's think about it. It's not me telling the story directly. The narrator's not talking about you and how you feel. So I'm going to go with third person, but which one? Well, we're talking about one person's feelings. So we have here him, he, his, him, his, and he again. And that is first person limited. Remember, because limited means that we're only talking about one person's feelings. Have you eaten yet? I asked my brother Pete. I've already taken my lunch break, and you're welcome to take yours now, I suggested. It was a frigid afternoon, and I wanted to make sure everyone was well fed before our next adventure. So which point of view would this be? Well, let's think about the key words. Okay, the narrator's talking about you, but he then talks about himself, and he says, I asked my brother. I've already taken my lunch break. I suggested. I wanted our next adventure. So that makes it first person. So don't get tricked up because he's asking a question to someone else. Okay, so that one might have been a little tricky. You are going to go ahead and you'll fill in the boxes up here with the words from the top. So it says write the clue words from the boxes. Okay, so you'll click in the box, you'll type which ones belong in each category, and then you'll go ahead and read each statement and you will guess which point of view this is told from. When you are done, okay, I want to skip real quick before that link. Here are the turn-in directions. Okay, so after you finish, you'll log in and you'll do your iExcel after you finish that worksheet. After you're done with your worksheet, you'll go back in, you'll click on Teams, you'll click back on that assignment, and in the right-hand corner, you'll see the words turn in. you must click the words turn in. Okay, if anybody has any questions for today's lesson, please post them on the reading board. That way I can answer any issues that you have. And I hope you guys have a great day.